I mean, the independence of ZEC is guaranteed. Firstly, it is guaranteed by the Constitution. And ZEC reports to nobody except to Parliament. It is for that reason that you may want to know that ZEC used to report through a ministry, but now it reports straight to Parliament. The Minister of Justice is just an administrative conduit, but we now report to Parliament. So that alone guarantees independence of ZEC. Secondly, ZEC is independent in its functions. It's functionally independent. Because there is no way or nowhere where we have found that ZEC produces say this voter education material that favors party A or party B. And it is for that reason that when ZEC conducts voter education, voter information, it also makes sure that even those who are not ZEC, who are allowed by the law, like civil society organizations, faith-based organizations, and other organizations of the like, they cannot go to the field without ZEC having approved their materials to make sure that their materials are not biased, they are actually neutral. So that's the independence. So there's no need really to over-dramatize some of these things and also to cause some kind of sensationalizing elections in our country. We all have the responsibility to build this country. We all need this stability, and so there's no need really to be saying things that do not exist. ZEC is truly independent.
Okay, maybe how prepared are you to deliver a credible election in the coming season, and how resourced are you as an electoral management body?
I can assure you that ZEC is 100% plus prepared to deliver a credible election. In terms of resources, there is no election that has never failed to be funded by Treasury. I can assure you that Treasury fully funds the elections in Zimbabwe.
Is that allowed when we are heading for an election, that embassies can comment on electoral processes?
Well, maybe, I'm not sure in terms of commenting. Commenting probably, maybe they may, but interfering in the electoral process of Zimbabwe, I don't think that would be something that is acceptable. They cannot interfere. That's why you would find that in our elections, even the embassies cannot monitor, but they can only observe. There's a very big difference between monitoring and observing elections. So I'm sure the state has always invited observers. It is up to the state to invite those foreign observers. But in terms of monitoring, which is more of like intervening in our processes, I think that will not be, it's not accepted anyway. Zimbabwe is a sovereign nation. It has got its own election management body, which is independent and professional. And so the best thing really is not to interfere with the processes of nation, because each nation is guided by certain principles. Yes, I know people will say there's international best practice, principles. But let me tell you one thing that is very important that we need to understand as a nation, that the first port of call in terms of elections, it is our local laws, our constitution, our electoral act, our regulations. Those are the starting, that is the starting point. Then of course, we are members of the Electoral Commission's Forum of the SADC countries, we also live and try and also bring into our systems those principles and guidelines of governing elections in the SADC, because we are a member of SADC. And then we look, of course, into the international other principles as applicable as they were.
Okay. And then maybe how much are you expecting to spend in the coming election?
Well, we had a figure of about 77 billion